It's Eagles. It's Cowboys. It's Dallas Sucks Week. Final preview predictions for the NFC East battle between our Philadelphia Eagles and those dreaded Dallas Cowboys. We're breaking it all down, and we're live in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 pop your julep. Pop, 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 pop your julep. Pop, 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 pop your julep. Pop, 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 woo!
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live. Facebook. No, not Facebook. Just YouTube and Twitter. I can't get that natural habit of saying Facebook out of my mind. We're not on Facebook anymore, at least not right now, but maybe we'll get back to Facebook eventually. But we are on YouTube. We are on Twitter. Please do me that favor. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. It's free to do it. It doesn't cost you a thing to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel as we get ready to break down Eagles, Cowboys. It's the weekend, guys. Happy weekend. Team effort. We made it. The weekend is here. Well, for you guys. For me, it doesn't. It just keeps going on because in the pizza business, you just keep working. But we got lots to talk about today on the STT Sports Network and Trending in the AM because it is Eagles. It is Cowboys. It is one of the two games every year. We circle on that calendar when the schedule comes out. It's in Dallas. It's a big game for the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going to talk all about it today, preview and predictions. My man Ryan Reese will be joining us about 8:45. Help us break it down. Duck, good morning to you. How are you this morning? Adam, happy Friday morning to you as well. That's right, F Dallas and go Birds. You know, we're going to talk about that a little bit today, the F Dallas part of things, the Dallas Sucks Week part of things. Nice crystal clear picture. Does it look good today? I mean, it's crystal because the reflection off my bald head is probably why it's crystal clear this morning. Got to ask a question to start this. Before we get into the nitty gritty, before we get into the X's and O's, before we get into the finer points of how and why the Eagles will win, I got to ask a question. And I've been thinking of this and talking about it a little bit on social media throughout the week. And I was listening to my man, Matty B. You know, we don't always see eye to eye, but I was listening to one of his shows on his new channel about the luster of Eagles-Cowboys games. Has it hit a little bit of a snag? Does it not quite feel as it did? And this is more directed to the older people in the conversation. The younger people might not understand this. But the hatred I had for the Dallas Cowboys in the late 80s, early 90s as a young teenager, I still want to hate the Cowboys. I still do hate the Cowboys. But it doesn't have the same fire that it did 30 years ago. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because Dallas is not America's team anymore. Maybe it's because Dallas has been so bad for so long. Maybe it's because Jerry Jones is such a joke. I hope he's in charge forever because he'll continue to be a joke. Has some of the spark of Eagles versus Cowboys, the Dallas Suck Weeks, worn off? I mean, and I'm not trying to say it's not important and it's not a big deal and it's not a big rivalry, but I'm more looking forward to next Thursday night against the Washington Commanders for the division battle than I am this week. And that's why this week's so important, because you got to beat Dallas this week because the unknown of next week on a short week is going to be tough. Just stop. This was from a few minutes ago. I don't know what I'm stopping. Happy Friday, Judd. Last night and this morning, man, somebody must have given you off for a few days. Can we please maybe talk? We're only talking football today. You are such a hater. Go find yourself a football-only channel. This is an everything channel. I give the people what they want. A little bit of everything here. Happy Friday, Chet. Good morning. I hope you enjoyed your birthday the other day. Dallas has never been – no, they weren't. But they coined themselves America's team. And I think we hated them as Eagles fans growing up because they were coined America's team. And I think that added fuel to the division fire. And the rivalry got fueled by that. Plus, they were great. They had Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman. at least in my childhood. They were winning Super Bowls left and right. Well, a few of them. I think there was a lot more that fueled the Dallas hate fire. Now, I mean, what do you hate? Dak Prescott? Yeah. I mean, it's still the big rivalry, but it's just, to me, the spark. Like, I got more hyped up to face the 49ers last year than Dallas. I got more hyped up, to face the Chiefs than I do the Cowboys sometimes. This year, because of the division, I'm more hyped for the Commanders games than the Cowboys. Cowboys stink. Exactly. Washington. Well, we're going to find out next week on that one. I wish. Just getting away with listening on that. Gotcha. Stay working. Football. I didn't have time to do power rankings. I did do them. I just never posted them. Can't always do everything. I can only do so many shows. What excuses are they going to have this week when they lose? They have a whole book. The Cowboys, of course, they got a book of excuses. Of course. It's going to be the Dak Prescott missed the game, Cooper Rush, whatever. There's always an excuse. I'm doing my morning walk, and I hear Dallas week from Phil, and I catch my second win. There you go. But see, here's the question, Martian, because you, like Duck and a few others, you're a little older. Has some of the luster worn off? And I don't know if I'm the only one like that. Like, I'm still hyped for it. But I used to feel like I want to run through a brick wall Dallas week. Like, I really, had rage go. Not rage, but, like that, let's go Dallas. Let's go beat Dallas. I'm saying beat Dallas. I'm saying it's important. But I'm like, I'm not, raging on the inside for the game. And I don't know what it is that has, where along the line that changed. I was too young to remember Dallas glory days. You're too young to remember, the Aikman and stuff like that, and Emmitt Smith. See, that was prime, high school and middle school Phil right there. The Aikman era was me growing up. I have so many memories of the Cowboys just whooping Eagles' asses. And then when we get that one win, 4th and 2 times 2, can never forget. All you got to do is say 4th and 2 times 2. It just made those wins so much sweeter. What happened there? What dynasty is a better one? Cowboys, 49ers, or Patriots? Dynasty overall? It depends on what you're talking about. Super Bowl titles, overall better players. I mean, obviously the Patriots more recently because of Tom Brady. The Cowboys have won a lot of Super Bowls, and so have the 49ers over the years. That's a tough one, Adam. That's a real tough question. I remember the Eagles getting to the playoffs on the last week of the regular season to the tune of 44-6. Yeah, exactly. That's true. The generations of local Dallas fans, because of their championship, lost interest because now this might be something here. Growing up, Duck, all the fake Cowboys fans that lived in Philadelphia fueled us to hate them even more because they tricked, casual fans in Philadelphia to give up on their team and join the. It's like my brother being a 49ers fan because the 49ers were good when he was a kid. And he's a Fugazi, Now maybe that generation has moved on and their kids have stayed locked into the Eagles because the Eagles have been better in their generation. That's something to it. Pats is the only one I remember. Okay. I hate them in a unique way because they've been unimpressive my entire life. America's team with nothing to show for it. That shows your age a little bit, Judd. America's team when I was growing up was dominating. Was one of the best. Dear Phil, if Eagles beat Washington, they will be my rank 4 after, well, it depends on who wins and loses in those games as well. It's just, I think this is an interesting conversation about the Cowboys and the Philly hate. And I really like this Duck comment there. Because there's a lot of Lakers/Cowboys fans that live in the Philadelphia region or used to live in the region. And maybe that helped fuel our hatred for those Dallas Cowboys. I know it did. I think now that I'm thinking about it, it did for me. Absolutely. I think that's a fantastic point. Patriots versus Giants. Look, Panthers versus Giants. Can you imagine? Oh, we're getting a game in Germany. Deutschland. Wo wohnst du? Ich spreche Deutsch. Ich verstehe, aber nicht. Ich spreche sehr gut. And the game you get is Giants versus Panthers. which, by the way, the Panthers are 6.5-point dogs to the Giants in that game. Could you imagine? I think I impressed you guys with my German speaking, just a touch there. I hate Dallas more because of their fans. They bring up 5 Super Bowls like they're around for them. That is true. The people nowadays are like, oh, we got more Super Bowls than you. We might not have won one in 30 years, but we got more Super Bowls than you. That is something that fuels the Dallas hate as well. I remember the Eagles getting in playoffs when they got the interception against Kyle Orton. Oh, man. There's a name from the past, Kyle Orton. Good morning, Gatekeeper. How are you? Hope you are well. Hope you are doing well. Stevie Fuentes in the house bright and early this morning. Happy Friday to you. Dallas fans have already given up on the season, which takes the edge off the game a little. That's true, too. They're not. We're fired up. It's a big game for us. It's meaningless for them. They are the Sixers of the NFL. They're punting on the season. They're tanking for whoever. Keep kicking Cowboys while they're down so they never get up. That's a very important thing right there about all football games. When you're going up against a team that is struggling, it is very, very important to not let them get you while they're down. Just think about this. The Eagles are 7.5-point favorites in Dallas. That means on a neutral field that they would be considered a 10.5-point better team. That is something pretty crazy. I don't remember the last time that we were that heavily favored in Dallas. Something interesting there. What is up, the Gatekeeper, or the whole Jalen can't beat Dak? Well, they do struggle in Dallas, and it is a concern. It is a concern of how Nick Sirianni is going to coach on Sunday, considering the amount of criticism he's faced for his aggressiveness, which, in my opinion, I don't agree with it all the time, but I also don't want him to change. So I think if he changes because the fans push him to change, that'll hurt his reputation in the locker room and with the players, if that makes sense. Good morning, Brianna. How are you? Phil sprechen Sie Deutsch. Yes, ich spreche Deutsch. Ein bisschen. We better not lose to these assholes. We better not. Dude, could you imagine the rage and the fire in our hearts on Monday if the Eagles lost to the Cowboys? Now, I think the game is going to be close. It's a division rival. Both teams get up. CeeDee Lamb will be there. Cooper Rush, whatever about him. I think that 5-1 record is what it is. But I still think we win. I still think it'll be close, though. I don't see it being a 20-point blowout or anything like that. I always hated Dallas, but I think I hate the Mets worse now because of their fan base. But the Mets have been kind of sticking in our crawl lately. The Knicks have been sticking on our crawl lately, Adam. Dallas, it's just, I don't know. My dad had successful next year. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic to know. Joe, what's up? My prediction is the Eagles go up fast and the Cowboys implode completely. Joe's got the implosion. Will McCarthy be the next head coach fired in the NFL? Will Dallas just fire McCarthy and put Jerry Jones as interim head coach for the time being at halftime of Sunday's game? I mean, I can see Jerry Jones, of all people, doing something like that. I'm prepared to sacrifice the Sixers for a Super Bowl ring. Sure, Marshawn. I'm absolutely on board with this. I'll sign the deal right now. Joel Embiid has to get traded. We have to go back to the process era if it gives us another Super Bowl ring. I'd do it for a World Series ring, too. I'd sacrifice a World Series ring for the Sixers to win. I would sacrifice all teams to win one more championship this year, this upcoming year. Because Dallas fans outside of Texas or surrounding states are weak. Mets fans are hardcore. It's true. They are hardcore. Yes, fantastic news. We need Nick to blow the doors off the Cowboys early so our starters can rest the fourth quarter. Absolutely. And practice report-wise for Sunday, for those that didn't see, it looks like pretty much everybody is good to go. Even Ben Van Sumeren, he practiced limitedly, so maybe he's trending towards clearing concussion protocol. Jay Brown was a full participant in practice yesterday. We should be full bore, full go on Sunday. Dallas Goedert looks like he's going to play. It looks like Darius Slade's going to play. We're going to have everybody on Sunday. We are. So that's a good thing for sure. And I want to bring up Nick Sirianni in a few minutes and his coaching style. We need to get pressure on Cooper Rush Don't give him time and make him look like a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah, and that's the thing that this defense has done for a decade now. Make bad quarterbacks look like Hall of Famers at times. We know that. JJ usually doesn't can coaches until the season is over. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jerry's old, but Jerry's also senile and in charge of a football team. How was the doctor's appointment yesterday? We'll see. Got to wait for the blood work results to come back. Always got to get that blood work done. Got to tweak some meds. I got to go to a follow-up, a specialist for something. But, it is what it is. Some of my meds might need some tweaking. So let's get the full checkup and then make those decisions. So it is what it is. I will bash the doctor's office if you want me to vent. I get there and I go to check in. I'm like, we don't have you on an appointment today. I'm like, well, I got an appointment today. I'm like, well, who are you seeing? I say the doctor's name. Oh, his appointments were canceled today. Did you not get notified? I'm like, I didn't cancel nothing. I didn't tell you canceled nothing. So they canceled my appointment without telling me. Luckily, there was a nurse practitioner there that was able to do the physical and stuff like that had a free moment there to do it. But still, doctor's office, you got to wait 6 months to get an appointment, but they don't think twice of canceling your appointment and not telling you. I will do it for any chip at this point. Yeah, I just want another title. I mean, realistically in my lifetime, not counting the 83 Sixers because I was 3. Not counting the 83 Sixers, I've got 2 titles, 08 and 17. I think I deserve another title in my lifetime. We don't have to sacrifice the Sixers. Joel Embiid already did that for a Mickey Mouse medal. We talked all the Sixers last night, so hope Eagles crush Cowboys with the same hate I have for them. Absolutely, I hope so too. No Dak. Yep, we know that. What time is the game? The Eagles are at 4 o'clock. Well, I think they're actually 4:25, not 4. It's the afternoon game, the afternoon primetime game. Is Mailata playing Sunday? No, he is on IR. So while everybody that's active is healthy and going to go, Mailata still has 1 more week before he can have his practice. Where Dallas Goedert never went on IR, Mailata did, so he has to miss a minimum of 4 games. So I think this is his 4th game he's missing. So at best, he can come back next week. I don't know if you'd bring him back for Washington, considering it's a short week. My guess would be the week after Washington would be the next time we have a chance of seeing him. Am I worried about Jonathan Minga? No, and no, not at all. Yeah, I'm definitely taking a year off from the NBA. I'm still watching, but yeah, it's the 4:25. It's the late afternoon game. Gotta love that. Cooper Rush meet Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean has got so much hype around him. And Joe, I love that you bring up Cooper DeJean's name here, because I gotta talk about Cooper DeJean today some. Biggest matchup of the game is going to be Cooper DeJean against CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb lines up in the slot practically 52% of the time. So you're going to have Quinion Mitchell guarding him 45% of the time, and 55% of the time Cooper DeJean's going to be guarding him. Cooper DeJean has done a fantastic job of locking down guys, but he hasn't faced in his 4 weeks that he's been a starter anybody of the caliber of CeeDee Lamb. You look at the Cowboys offense. The Cowboys offense sucks, with Dak Prescott or not. They don't run the ball well. They don't do anything well except for feed CeeDee Lamb the football. And CeeDee Lamb is one of the 4 best wide receivers in football. Cooper DeJean, as a rookie, has a massive challenge to stop CeeDee Lamb no matter who's throwing him the football. We're going to see how this goes. Number 1 matchup, Cooper DeJean versus CeeDee Lamb this week. No, nobody cancels on me. I cancel on you. You don't cancel on me. I hope we'll find out when the blood work comes back. It's a bad time of year to get blood work done, because I just had like a week's worth of Halloween candy, like 3 years worth of candy jammed inside of me in like 1 week. So, I'm sure the blood work's going to be a little skewed this week. I've been off the NBA for a year and going on my 2nd year of it. I catch it every once. I can't do it. Can't do it. What's up, Jose? Yes. Oh, see, you're gonna get crushed in the comments because Barb noticed it last night, but no one else did. And it's because guys aren't supposed to notice other guys' haircuts, just so you know. That's why nobody complimented me before Barb yesterday. Yeah, doctor just signed his death warrant. Yeah, basically. I'm going to call David Archeri. I'm actually spoiled. I saw 08 and 17. Also, we were in the Super Bowl in 22. Yeah, I know. I get that. So you're spoiled because you've been alive less than me, so you've had less failures than me. Out a few more weeks. Yeah, I think Jordan Mailata's injury is going to keep him out At least, well, definitely this week. Probably next week. Maybe we get him back by the Ravens or Rams game, for sure. What? I'll tell you what. I'd rather DeJean on CeeDee Lamb. Well, yeah, I'd rather DeJean covering CeeDee Lamb as well over Avonte. I would rather Avonte Maddox not see the field, period, Brian. There's no need for CeeDee Lamb to ever step foot on the football field again. Come on, Phil. DeJean was on Jamar a lot in that Bengals game. Absolutely. And you see what Jamar Chase did last night. I know the Bengals lost last night because of some bad penalties that were missed and bad refereeing. But I love seeing Jamar Chase catch 3 touchdowns, 200 some yards. Joe Burrow throwing for over 400 plus yards, and they lose. Because those stats are meaningless when you lose a football game. It's like people would rather win pretty than lose ugly like the Eagles at times. Is Parsons playing? I don't know. Parsons said on his podcast that he is. Now, that doesn't mean anything. Parsons said he's going to play, but we'll see. DeJean might be no, I 1,000% disagree, Judd, with him being the best corner. Quinion Mitchell is the best corner, hands down. Quinion Mitchell is already a top 10 corner in the entirety of the NFL at this point. There's no doubt in my mind about that, just so you know. Just so you know. It's Quinion Mitchell. Cooper DeJean's our second. Darius Slay's our third best corner at this point. Yeah, exactly. Phil shaved his hair for Sirianni. I did it for Sirianni. No, I did it for my wife. The wife told me to. Chase is so good, and so is Burrow, but that team overall is trash. Yeah, they put up hollow stats. Hollow stats. I'd rather wins than hollow stats. I know the refs didn't want to throw any more flags that last drive, but they have to call it down the line. Yeah, look, obviously Burrow was hit in the face. Obviously there was a hold on that play as well, and then there was a hold on another play that did get called. But I love seeing people throw for 450 yards and freak out about how great Joe Burrow is. There's a big L. Big L next to his name after that game. Just going to say. No such thing as meaningless stats in DFS. That's true. That is fair. In the gambling and fantasy football aspects of the world, nothing like meaningless stats. Players make big names for themselves, like the Justin Herberts of the world, because they're great fantasy football quarterbacks. Thought BG was the best trash talker on the Eagles, but after watching the Saquon mic'd up video against the Giants, BG has competition. Yeah, absolutely, Saquon's a good trash talker. You know what's funny? The video of the mic'd up Jalen Hurts video when Lane Johnson rolls over to him after the touchdown. It's like, yo, you happy now? And Jalen with deadpan face, no. And there's so many media members already trying to blow it up because he's not happy because of the way Nick Sirianni calls games and stuff like that. Dude, guys, it was comedy. It was Jalen Hurts' attempt at comedy. It is what it is. Let's not make too much of a big deal about it. I thought that was hilarious. NBA viewership is way down this year. Absolutely. And I see a lot of people making comments in general on that. No, the Doldu Bengals record, it's not good. I think they're 4-6 after last night, I believe. Which linebacker are you paying, Phil? Howie not going to pay both. I say Bond. See, I disagree. I think they can keep both. Zach Bond's got to get signed now. Nakobe Dean still got 1 year left on his rookie deal. Right, so third-round picks, it's a 4-year deal, I believe it is. So he would have 1 more year left on his deal. You could probably get Zach Bond. I saw an article, I forget who wrote it, projecting out his contract, something like 2 years, $22 million, 3 years, $34 million, something like that. And then you could see 1 more year of Nakobe Dean if he could stay healthy and continue to improve, and then you figure that out. Zach Bond's 27 years old, never done this before, never had this kind of success, so it's not going to cost you a lot of money to keep Zach Bond locked up. It's not like some other team is going to come poach Zach Bond and offer him 4 years, $80 million or something like that. The middle linebacker position, cost-wise, is going down. They're trending down the importance meter in overall. So I think you could keep Zach Bond relatively inexpensively, and then after that, then give Nakobe Dean the extension. I don't think it's a necessity to worry about losing them. Hurts is deadpan and wasn't happy because they hadn't lock that W up yet. Exactly. He smiled on some of those catches. The media is going to blow that up so much, and it's terrible. I'll trade Bust Davis in the offseason. Jordan Davis is going to be – I hate talking about the offseason while the season's still going on, especially when the season has a chance of success, Brian. But there'll be a serious conversation about Jordan Davis and his future here in Philly after the season because he's going to be up for a contract extension after this year, I believe. I believe because he's a first-round player. I think this offseason will be the first time that he can get an extension. And I don't know how much of an extension that they can really give him based off of his performances. And this is the comment. It's time. And I think you're actually going to see Alex Hunt this week. Why do I say that? Because if you pay attention, I watch every press conference, every Nick Sirianni one, every Vic Fangio one, every Kellen Moore one, most Michael Clay, press conferences. And if you watch them as much as I do, you can pick up on little tidbits. Right before Cooper DeJean started playing regularly, I forget the exact words used, but they talked about his performances in practice, and then boom, he was in the starting lineup. Now, Alex Hunt's not going to start, but they used the exact same words about what Hunt's been doing lately in practice on Alex Hunt. Nolan Smith's banged up. Bryce Huff only played 6 snaps last week. Based off the words, I would be shocked if Alex Hunt doesn't get at a minimum 5 defensive snaps this Sunday against Dallas. Just going to say. Well, they did let Edwards walk because he wanted to go home to Chicago, so you never know. Yeah, but we could have afforded that contract, so that's the key thing. J.J. Redick already storming out a post-game. I saw somebody shared something, but I didn't even listen to it. Could care less about the Lakers. They've been using Davis a lot less than last season. He looks good when he's out there. He does, and I'm not sure why they're using Jalen Carter way too much, in my opinion, Duck. He's played over 90% of the snaps last week, but Jordan Davis less. I'm not sure why. Philly Press Box Radio, my man. STT Network Programming Alert. Philly Press Box will air a special 2 p.m. show today, recapping last night's Philly. Oh, okay. All right. Special breaking news. Special breaking news right there. Like that. Phil, did you talk to the doctor about your performance? Yeah, I did. NBA viewership is down because people are tired of the gaslit officiating and a lot of other things as well. Including interviews with Ryan Howard and Jameer Nelson. Man, did I miss a message? I didn't get this message. I thought I was cool enough to get a pre-made message about that. I thought I would have gotten a heads up, or something like that. Damn. Vaughn actually makes impact tackles. When he hits someone, they fall backwards. TJ, look at this. Brian, were you listening to me 2 years ago? Because I talked about this all the time about TJ Edwards and Kazir White. And I talk about it all the time. Tackling people, but your momentum's always bringing them back and giving them an extra yard or two. I love this comment from Brian. Now, we missed TJ Edwards and Kazir White last year, not because they were so great of players, but because the replacements for them were so trash. That's all. It wasn't we didn't miss them because they were elite players. They were just better than what we had. Phil getting a refill of vitamin no. I wanted Nolan Smith to win the starting position over Huff, but not by injury. Huff or Nolan Smith is playing way more, and he's playing a lot better too. It's not going to go out of business. Jordan Davis got pushed up the field if he is in there on long drives. I don't know if that's going to change yet. Yeah, I don't know what to make. After last year, I had a lot of high hopes for Jordan Davis. Really did. Really thought he could take that next step. He hasn't. If anything, he's regressed. And it sucks when, Kyle Hamilton's playing the way he does. And I don't know how you give Jordan Davis a big extension. I don't know how you give him any kind of an extension, honestly. You can't let him go, but I don't know. It's going to be one of the big dilemmas this offseason, for sure. Phil, add in Alec Baby Arm Singleton to the list. Yeah. Look, every bad team has a linebacker that leads it in tackles. But, I'm not going to trash talk Singleton right now because he obviously tore his ACL this year and is out for the season. So, I'm not going to kick a guy while he's down. unless the guy's name is He Hate Me. Nolan Smith is getting much better. Jordan, the Bust Davis. You like to just call everybody a bust if you think they're having a bad day. And I love it. I love it. Guys, you're watching Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. Please, if you haven't already done it, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Please hit that share button. Guy Ryan Reese joining us in about 15 minutes. Help us get through this Eagles Cowboys matchup. Nate Morrow Hive was nasty. No, Nicholas Morrow. It wasn't Nate. It was Nicholas, right? Whatever. Morrow sucked. We thought Morrow was good. That he had the one game with 3 sacks or something like that last year, and we're like, Morrow's got it. Christian Ellis. That was the problem. T.J. Edwards and Xavier White weren't great, but because we had Ellis and Morrow and Nakobe Dean for a minute, everyone thought they were so good. Is Ryan Reese the guy with? Does he have half a beard? I don't know. You guys have seen him on plenty of channels. I don't know. I don't know what his beard looks like. Sorry. Still a tomato can, yeah. Matt Milano, the star linebacker, hurt again. Okay, I don't care. Not my team. How many subscribers are you up to now? At the start of this show, Adam, I was at 227 subscribers. We zoomed out of the gates with the subscriber count. Then we were like one here, one there. It's a long grind, Adam. Hence why I went live last night. Hoped to find 1 or 2 last night. It didn't happen. Morrow is Bills linebacker, and I don't care about the Buffalo Bills. This is a Philadelphia Eagles show on Philadelphia Eagles versus Dallas Cowboys Hate Week, and you want to talk about the Buffalo Bills linebackers? No. I'm worried about Jordan Davis. He gets winded very quickly. Does he have asthma or something? I mean, he's got something. I don't know. He's just 400 pounds. Isn't the first defensive tackle to take a few years to figure out the optimal playing weight? That's not as simple as it's. That's a fair point. I mean, he's in his 3rd year. Brandon Graham was a bust through 3 years. So there's that. I'm not trying to say I'm ready to give up on Jordan Davis at all. I want nothing more than Jordan Davis to be successful. It behooves the Eagles that he is successful. Not calling him a bust yet. I just know that in the offseason, he's up for that first contract extension, and I just don't know how you give him. First-round rookies, you get 5-year deals. You get the 5th-year option. So maybe the Eagles just pick up his 5th-year option versus giving him the contract extension. Maybe that's what they do. Because you just don't know what he is just yet because of this, because of the weight. But you don't give up on him just yet. Bust Davis is soft. And I'm sure you were saying that about Brandon Graham as well. And now what? Brandon Graham is one of the Eagles' greats. Brandon Graham will be in the Eagles Hall of Fame one day. You just mad because you hate me. He hate me. I don't hate that. I don't hate anybody. I hate nobody. Hate's a strong word. Strongly dislike some people. That's something else. But I don't hate anybody. Keep Davis, but don't overpay him. Yeah, I mean, you got to have to find that common ground, that number. But, that's a talk. Keeping or cutting or signing or extending Jordan Davis, that's an off-season conversation. The only current situation, contract-wise, you could talk about is Zach Bond, and I'm shocked that Howie Roseman hasn't tried to find a way to extend Zach Bond now because he is only on a 1-year deal. You could give him that extension now. You've got some cap space left this year that you don't have to roll all of it over to next year. You can give Zach Bond a 2-year extension right now. So, yeah, podcasters sometimes take 3 to 4 years and as many platforms until they hit. I know. Dude, it's a long grind, K1. It is. You got to get lucky almost to see that big boom in subscribers. Pretty much got to get lucky. I'm happy that my show is being found by as many people outside of the core 12. Most people have 10,000 subscribers and they get 200 listens, sometimes 50 listeners. I got 227 subscribers, and most morning shows are over 100 viewers. So I'm getting about 50%, just under 50% of my subscribers listen to the show, and that's a very high level of subscribers. The guy that finds optimism, even then when there's a nuclear missile heading for us. Repost this as soon as Ryan Reese joins. Flyers had a nice comeback win last night. Who? The Flyers? The team that benched their star for load management, their 19-year-old rookie for load management, basically. You think I was going to watch the Flyers last night? There was zero chance that I was watching the Flyers last night knowing that they're already benching Matvei Michkov. I never said that about Brand. Okay, there was a lot of people that did. We were playing that dumb wide 9. And they also tried to make him an outside linebacker for a little while. Didn't they try to run the 3-4 for a little bit and make Brandon Graham play standing up as an outside linebacker? I think they tried to make him a defensive tackle at one point, too. Yes, change your name to Strongly Dislike Me. I don't hate anybody. Hate's too strong of a word. But what does this look like? We'll find out soon. You're taking my 5th-year option? Okay. My 5th-year option is up at some point, right? Coffee is flowing this morning. Definitely need it. Ivan Fedotov is quickly addressing his weaknesses low. I could care less about the Flyers right now. The Flyers organization has already massively pissed me off this year. Not just with the way they're playing, the way they're handling their things. They think they're going to skate a little benching, what's his name, under the radar because of all the Sixers drama going on. I see it. We're not talking Flyers. I'm so over the Flyers, just like the Sixers already. Big Al didn't. What? I don't even know. I blame Embiid. Everything's Embiid's fault. Yeah. We're talking Flyers whether you let. No, we're not. No, we are not. High school game of the year this weekend. Prep Revenge at LaSalle. Are you talking about would that be St. Joe's Prep against LaSalle? Personally, I'm a Devon Prep guy, so we didn't even have a football team, so I don't get hyped for the prep games. I chose one over the others, so they chose me or whatever you want to say. But I'm guessing that means St. Joe's Prep at LaSalle. That's pretty cool, though. Because the Sixers, yeah, they do. They do. Phil, stop. Just stop. No, I'm not the one talking about hockey or basketball. Bill Kyle Lowry statue in Nick Nurse's office. He will be starting. Yes. Let's go Flyers. Clap, clap, clap. Let's not. Saw something interesting this morning. Let's get back to football. I want to bring a pretty interesting topic to the table here. Saw my man John Barchard, formerly WIP, and all the other places he does things. Yeah, so it is St. Joe's. That's why I figured you were talking about St. Joe's Prep. Devon Prep. Oh my God, that's so funny. I went to. I'm a Devon Prep graduate. Sometimes I got a Devon Prep shirt on the show. Just so you know. So my man John Barchard brought something up. And he brought up a box score from the Eagles versus Cowboys, November 8th, 2009. Cowboys won 20-16 over the Eagles. And with about 4.5 minutes left in the game, down 20-13, Andy Reid kicked a 52-yard field goal with David Akers to get to 20-16 instead of going for it. And we crush Nick Sirianni for his overly aggressive nature. But on the flip side, we also used to crush Andy Reid for his ultra-conservative game plan. It's like we can't be happy. What would you prefer in your head coach? The old school Andy Reid way, very conservative like he did November 8th. We never won that game. Or the overly aggressive Nick Sirianni style, which can come back to bite you, but it's more entertaining at least. If the last month hasn't taught you anything, it's all about marketing. Oh, I know it is. And I'm out there promoting nonstop. Stoga. Oh, you're Conestoga. Gotcha. I market my show so goddamn much, new. So much. Jordan Davis reminds me of this kid I used to play with in football team, 6'6", 400 pounds, and strong as an ox, but he can never pass conditioning drill. Well, I couldn't pass one either. So we're just vamping until Ryan Reese shows up. So I can't wait for the big beard reveal. No, I don't think we're just vamping. I think we're into something here. Plus, I haven't seen one person give a score prediction for the Eagles-Cowboys game. So that's there too. I think there's something to this conversation that John Barchard was starting on his Twitter page about, he didn't say it like this, but whatever he did say made me think of the ultra-conservative Andy Reid style and how it used to piss us off something terrible. Compared to what we're used to, we're all pissed off about Nick Sirianni's going for it on 4th down. We're all pissed off about how he takes points off the board. It's the complete opposite of what we had 20 years ago. But here we are. What would you prefer? The over-aggressive style or the conservative style. We prefer the MF logical style. Okay. Logical. 37-17. Yeah, I don't know if the Eagles can blow out a team like that. In Dallas, prime time, not sure. I like Duck's comment more, 28-20, more logical, more realistic. I am happy now. I am happy now. I am happy now. As you will ask and you will receive my Uncle Phil now. Eagles 21. The Cowboys aren't even going to show up. It's just Eagles 21, Cowboys nothing. Not even a 0, nothing. Oh, okay. There's another comment there. Cowboys 10. Gotcha. I thought it was just Eagles 21 and Cowboys don't show up. That's what I thought. That's what I thought you were hinting at there, but obviously not. I think the Eagles are going to win on Sunday, and I think the keys are to continue to shut down their running game. And their running game is very bad, the Dallas Cowboys. One of the worst in the league. They average 3.8 yards per carry. They give up 147 yards rushing per game. I think the Eagles win this game at the line of scrimmage. Stop their run continually. Put that pressure on Cooper Rush. I almost said Cooper Flag there. And stop CeeDee Lamb. And if they do those things, it's pretty easy to see a path to an Eagles pretty big victory this week. It is seriously time to stop giving attention to the team in Texas or any teams that haven't been relevant for years. The Commanders have been our thorn. Yeah, there's people, Nooms, that'll tell you that the bigger rivalry for the Eagles is Washington or Dallas even. There's people that believe that Dallas isn't our top rivalry. Hurt will be slow first half, 6-13. Then Eagles go off. I hope not. Play us piano, please. I'm not playing piano for you. Mitchie Poo's got a very, very low projection. 17-10 Eagles. I'd be curious how that works out and how that gets there. Well, I could play piano. See, I got my piano keys. There's my piano keys right there. So I just go like this whenever I want. Got to get like stuff like inserted into my arm so when I play my piano keys, it actually makes music. Dallas literally in one postseason had a huge drop in talent. And it's JJ, I can't laugh at a person more than, Jerry Jones. But I also don't want somebody like Jerry Jones to ever leave Dallas because the Dallas Cowboys will suck as long as he's still in charge there. Eagles 32 to Dallas's 13. That's a big blowout. That's a tough one right there. Retired from the circuit. I've retired. I am retired. Unfortunately, I am a retired pianist. I am, can't do it anymore. It's just unfortunate. 18 years of my life gone, but it's okay. Eagles 44, Cowboys 14 is Joe's prediction. Again, I want to believe the Eagles can blow out the Cowboys. If it wasn't Eagles-Cowboys, I think they could. But the division rival in Dallas, it's just hard. And if you look at the Eagles' record this year and their games this year, I mean, yeah, we kind of won big against Bengals, kind of won big against the Giants, but every other game's been close. We only won by 5 against the Packers, 3 against the Saints, only 4 against the Browns, only 5 against the Jaguars. The Eagles just don't blow opponents out. And when you're going up against Dallas, your hated rival, it's tough. Washington's been quietly good or getting better for the last 2 seasons. Defense has been solid. Now, look, forewarning, spoiler alert, I'm probably going to predict the Eagles losing next week against Washington on the short week. Imagine how happy we would be if the Eagles slam the Cowboys, and imagine how hurt we'll be if the Cowboys crush us. Yeah. The emotions on Monday are either going to be super high or super, super, super low. If you're talented enough to play piano and you don't, then you don't. No, I am talented. I have a hand issue that require that is unfixable. I've got some nerve issues, and I can't. So there's a reason why I stopped playing. I was actually very good. The Commanders have 1 wide receiver. Yeah. 34-17 Eagles, rest the stars in the fourth quarter. That would be great. If we can have a game where we're not giving Saquon Barkley 30 touches, if we can have a game where we're not overworking our injured players like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, it would be huge. It'd be huge for the team. When the Sixers straighten things out and miss out on a higher seed by less than 3 games, what percent of the fan base will blame Marcus Hayes? Marcus Hayes, paging through social media, and I saw an article posted that I wanted to read, not by Marcus Hayes, by somebody else. But then I looked at the link before clicking it, and it was an Inquirer article. I don't even remember what it was about. Like, oh, that looks like a good article. Oh, it's an Inquirer article. Pass over it. So I ain't going to give any Inquirer article a click. Not at all. Because of Marcus Hayes. Marcus Hayes has basically written off that legendary newspaper to me. Completely. The problem is Washington is Thursday. We'll be coming off a win, and the energy levels for the true trap game against Washington, we are going to get, we're gonna get beat up pretty bad next Thursday. I really think so. See, the Eagles are on the way up, and Dallas is on the way down. It's a perfect storm. I saw one of the sports books posted a picture that Dallas has like a less than 3% chance of making the playoffs at this point. And it's so great to see. Hey, Phil, I got your hand issues right. Yeah, I'm sure you do. All right. I can't believe how great Tulsa is. Yellowstone. Look, there's the other big thing on Sunday. Not only are the Eagles about to beat the Cowboys on Sunday, but at 8 o'clock on Sunday, Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2 debuts at 8 p.m. And I don't know about anybody else, but I've been patiently waiting for the return and the sort of conclusion of Yellowstone. I can't wait. Sunday is going to be me on my couch from 4 o'clock straight through to about 10 p.m. I am not basically leaving my couch other than to refresh my adult beverage for literally like 6 hours. I'm sorry to hear that you're a retired. Yeah. It's such a layup of a joke right there. You put a turd in your coffee. Yeah, exactly. I know that it's going to be tough next week. I do. It's been a week. Dude, it's always been a week. Like, does anybody else just feel like every week's been a week? Because that's how I feel right now. It's just been a week. And it's not like it's getting any better. This weekend's just going to be just as much crap as every other weekend is for me. I keep telling myself at some point, something good's got to happen. Something positive's got to happen in the big grand game and grand scheme of things. It really is. Every week in the last 3 months has just been great. Talk you and me both, man. Every single damn week, every single damn day. It's just a grind, man. I'm exhausted beyond belief. I'm tired. I straight up am. Mentally and physically. I've never been this mentally and physically drained as I am right now, between work, between this, between life, everything, man. Never been this drained as I am right now. But life goes on. You got to keep pushing through. You got to keep grinding through. It's all good. It is what it is. But anyway, back to Cowboys, back to Eagles. Look at some of the games this weekend. Obviously, Giants versus Panthers in Germany. I don't even know how to predict that game. The Giants being a 6.5-point favorite. I guess you take the Giants in that game. What are the Panthers doing? Extending another running back, giving Chuba Hubbard a big contract while they have Miles Sanders. You got Pats, Bears. Bears are -6. I guess you go Bears in that game. Bills, Colts. Bills are 4-point favorites, which I think is crazy. Only 4-point favorites. But I'll take the Bills there. Broncos, Chiefs are 8-point favorites. I'm going to take the Broncos +8 in that game there. Washington is a trap, and they're going to either show why they are the top of the East, or we will get the bear on Thursday. Yeah. You mean interacting with your homeboys doesn't elevate you? No, it doesn't. I don't got no homeboys, just so you know. I just got me. Miles Sanders stinks. I wouldn't mind them cutting Miles Sanders and bringing Miles Sanders back here. Honestly, I wouldn't. I guess the magic is gone, fellas. Yeah, the magic has been gone for a long, long time. We will grow up one day, just not today. That's true. That is true. With Goddard returning, they still need to use Calcaterra. This is a fantastic. I'm glad you brought this up. I'm curious. You know, Dallas loves to play against Dallas. That's why he never went on IR, hoping that he'd have an opportunity. What will Grant Calcaterra's usage look like now with Dallas Goedert returning? Will Grant Calcaterra still get more opportunities? He's not going to get more opportunities than Dallas Goedert if Dallas Goedert's healthy. I'm very curious how the Eagles use Grant Calcaterra going forward. Do we start running some 2 tight end sets? Dallas Goedert can block a little bit. Do we go back to using a little bit more 12 personnel, which is helpful with the running game anyway? I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting question. What will Dallas Goedert and Grant Calcaterra's usage share be like? Just say, hypothetically speaking, before the injury, Dallas Goedert was 80%, Grant Calcaterra is 20%. Calcaterra has now shown he's got some worth and a little bit of a rapport with Jalen Hurts. Do we see 60-40? Does it go back to 80-20? What do we see? And I'm going to be really curious. 13 likes is not good enough. Please hit that like button. Please hit that share button, that subscribe button. Tell a friend. Please. I beg you all. Beg you all. Beg you all. Please hit that subscribe button and share button. Please. What happened there? Panthers will win by 10 against the Giants. I don't know. There's some bad games this weekend. Miles Sanders would be a great backup running back. I think that would be a great addition to this team. If they decide to cut him, it would be a fantastic addition to this team. It really would be. It would help protect Saquon Barkley a little bit. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with him. 49ers versus Bucks is fire. Looks like CMC might be coming back this week as well. And that's probably why the 49ers are 6.5-point favorites on the road against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers showed a lot of fight last week without Evans and Chris Godwin. And they really did. The Flyers money guys came through last night. They had some great goals. Tip it bad hander. I wasn't watching the game last night. Miles Sanders would be a great washed-up running back to leave on the waiver wire. I disagree. I think we need another running back. So Eagles will go to 12. Go to 12 what? 12 personnel. Okay. You think they're going to use the 12 personnel more? I would like to see it. I would hope to see it. What's up, Marky Mark? How you doing? Calcaterra will be the starter come 25. There will be 2 tight ends with Dallas flanked out. You think they're going to go to 2 Calcaterra's to start next year because they move on from Dallas Goedert? Just curious. Look, Dallas Goedert, he can't help the club from the tub, and he lives in that tub. I've been talking about the backup tight end, I feel like, for 2 years now, and they still don't have it. And maybe Calcaterra is the better tight end at this point. So much so, Panthers drafted Jonathan Brooks. Yeah, exactly. And then they draft Jonathan Brooks. They traded a whole bunch of picks to move up for Brooks, but yet just gave Hubbard a big extension after already paying Miles Sanders a boatload of money. Eagles, Buckeyes fan. Hope Dallas never sells and JJ stays around forever. Hope they keep Franklin forever in Crappy Valley. Yeah, I'm not a Penn State fan, so I visited Ohio State. I have never visited Penn State before, just so you know. Just so you know. Liked it. Which one you guys what? I don't even know what's going on here. One of the great and timely Doug Peterson packages was passing out of the tight end 3 set. Those worked 85% of the time, 100% of the time. Gotcha. Sandler will never be a starter again. His legs aren't there. But as a running back to change the pace for a few snaps, he might be better than Gainwell at this point doing that. I would just play Shipley too. I think that Shipley should get an opportunity. God damn. Sanders is washed, or is he just on a really, really atrociously bad team down in Carolina? Bills, will Webster slaughter the Colts? Probably. The Eagles should try and get Miles, but he has a big well, the thing is, his contract, he's going to get cut at some point, I would assume, Joe. And that's how you get him. You get him off the waiver wire. Maybe that's how that works out. 12 personnel will cut back on AJ time, give more Smitty dots and snaps. Maybe. Look, I'm all about protecting AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley moving forward this season. That's it. Who is Trump's favorite football team? Do we really even know who this is? Don't know. Don't care. Yannick is available. And I asked people if they want him in Philly. Now, I've been told that Yannick might be washed as well. There's a reason why he's bounced around from team to team the last few years. So there might be a scenario where Yannick's washed as well, but I would still at least make the phone call. Bring him in. 12 for protect AJ for later in the season, and I agree with that. Where the hell is that Reese fellow? We ain't getting cut all morning. Let me see if he's messaged me or not. No messages from Reese. Just a message from Chet. Who Ohio State? I didn't go to an Ohio State game because my sister-in-law's boyfriend at the time went to Ohio State, so went out to hang out. There's nothing stopping a 3 tight end Goddard, Calc, Ben Van Summer package. Could you imagine? Let's go 12 personnel with a fullback. You got your 5 offensive linemen, your 2 tight ends, you got your Ben Van Summer in, and you just run the ball. Could you imagine that? Old school smash mouth football. Nooms. I'm so excited. I would be so excited for that. Go Blue, even though the quarterback retired. Panthers, very good O-line. Are you sure about that? They're 2-7. Not really sure. Carolina has no O-line. So one person says they have a good O-line. The next comment says they have no O-line. You have to have a good, great running back to make things happen. Absolutely agree. I don't know if Miles Sanders is washed or not. But if he becomes available, I would at the very least make the phone call conversation for sure. Yes, this is probably the game of the week. Steelers versus Commanders. I can't believe it's not been flexed out of the 1 o'clock time slot. Commanders at home are 2.5-point favorites over the Steelers. Hate to say it. I'm rooting for the Steelers in that game. Well, I don't hate to say it. I know I'm saying it. There's no reason why I wouldn't say it. I absolutely want the Steelers to win this week. At the very least, it'll help us when we lose to Washington next week. So we are all becoming Pittsburgh Steelers fans this weekend. Pittsburgh Steelers are winning it very conservatively well, running the football, playing good defense, just like the Eagles right now. First the doctor, now Reese. The disrespect for Phil is out of control. Dude, I've been disrespected my entire life. There's no set time for Ryan Reese. He said he would come on sometime after 8:45. He knows the show runs till 9:30. There was no set time for Ryan, so don't give him a hard time. Look at the roster for O-line. I don't need to. I know they're 2-7. They're giving up an average. They also have a terrible quarterback. So you could stack the box with 8 because he can't throw the football. I went to my Annie graduation at Penn State in the 80s. That's one boring drive. You know, like I said it last week. I don't know why I was forced to be a Penn State fan. I don't know why so many Philadelphians are forced to be or feel forced to be Penn State University fans. I never went to Penn State. I don't give a shit about Penn State. And once I started realizing that, I enjoyed, college football a little bit more, even though I don't watch a lot of it. The MVP of this season was the bye so far. They figured a good amount during it. So that's funny. I talked about this on my other show I do, the Eagles Checkdown, earlier in the week, that the bye came at a great time because, yes, it gave us a chance to figure things out, to finally finalize this offense and defensive coordinator changes and stuff like that. But the problem is, now, in week 10, with all the banged up players, we really could use that second bye week right now, couldn't we? We could really use that later bye this week, or this year now. So it is a concern. There's a reason why, 12 guys didn't practice on Wednesday. Some of them were for rest. Some of them were for just, phantom injuries. Sorry, that number is from 23. This year is 2 sacks a game. Oh, okay. Beaver Falls in the middle of nowhere. At least Columbus is an actual town. When I was in Columbus, Ohio for that, I was actually kind of shocked, honestly, Cayman. I don't know if it's still like that now because that was a good 5-6 years ago that we went out there. Had some great meals, went to some great bars and restaurants and stuff. But as uppity up as parts of Columbus were, there was also a lot of abandoned buildings and a lot of abandoned houses as well. It was like there's a fine line between the build up part and the falling apart part as well. Probably not. Jaguars finally get owned versus Vikings. Big Phil, what? Vikings, Jags. Jags are 7-point dogs. Yeah, Vikings will probably win that game. Early buys are the best present for new coaching staffs. I agree. The only problem comes when you've got a worn out or banged up team later in the season. Double-edged sword. You figured out your offense and defensive system. You were able to make those tweaks in the bye. Flip side, A.J. Brown could use a week off. Saquon Barkley could use a week off right now. Just saying. You know what happened in the bye? Sirianni was told to shut up and leave more alone. And guess what? We're 4-0 since the bye. But we still need that bye. I really do campaign heavily for the NFL to institute, even if it means adding an 18th game. I really want to see that second bye week. I really do. You're never going to get 2 set bye weeks. Like I'd really like to see you could rotate some and then give every team a bye week somewhere late in the season. You'll never get that, but you'll get a second bye at some point. The NFL needs to institute a second bye for these guys. Stretches out the season a little bit more. They make more money doing it that way. Stretch it out a little bit more of the season. I really need to see the second bye week. It would mean so much to a lot of these players. If every team gets one bye before week 8 and every team gets one bye after week 9, something like that. And teams that don't play their starters in the preseason, you might get more preseason play if you got a guarantee of a second bye. Yesterday, while sitting in a waiting area with my Eagles hat, the guy across wearing a Dallas sweatshirt, the guy next to me, a Steelers diehard, and his wife in Ohio. That is a weird. It's like 3 guys walk into a bar. One this, one that, one this. This is a weird waiting room situation there. Very weird. Columbus is a nice little city. It was nice. There was just a lot more down spots than I expected. That's all. When Phil was 17, he had some very good beer. What? No, Columbus, California. Of course, Columbus, Ohio. Columbus also a hub of child. Really? Who would have known? There's one big, I forget what it was. There was one big business, banking or something like that. And they had a huge, giant complex there. I don't remember who it was. The late bye killed this team last year. Maybe. Maybe it did. How long until the regular season? It's 18, 19, 20 games with 2 byes. So here's the thing. I think the 18-man roster will have, or the 18-game schedule will happen as soon as the next agreement comes up. Players' ownership agreement comes up. I guarantee it will. And with the 18th game, they're going to put in a second bye. And with the 18th game, they're going to expand rosters. I don't know if they'll go to 60-man roster, but they'll add a few more. They'll make some tweaks to the roster, whether it's a few extra spots, a few extra practice squads. They're going to tweak it. They're going to have to. But I think the 18 games is 100% happening. Will it ever go to 20 games? Nooms, I highly doubt it. I think that's just a little too much football for the human body to handle, in my opinion. I don't know. I think 18's the max at this point. 2 byes and an 18th game will happen, though, in the next. When's the next union agreement up? I think it's coming up in the next year or so, isn't it? We need 2 byes. They should have added that when they added the game. They should have. They definitely will when the 18th game. Does anybody know when the next union agreement in the NFL is up? Because whenever that is, that's when we'll see the 18th game. Guarantee the owners will make that a sticking point, and they'll push hard for it big time. Catch your breath week. What is this week? Vegas would also love a second bye week, but we'll have to wait until 2030 probably. I don't know if we're going to have to wait that long. Isn't the next agreement up a lot sooner than that? National what? Is National the business in Ohio, Columbus? Yeah, when's the CBA up? I guess I could Google search that really quickly here. NFL CBA expiration. When you Google it, I can't read that. That's too little. Looks like the last CBA was signed in 2020. So that would even probably 2025. They're normally 5-year agreements. So it will be coming up after the 2025 season. Columbus, Georgia. I don't really care. Nationwide base. Okay, Nationwide. Maybe that was. Nationwide's got a blue color. I do remember the blue logo, so maybe that is correct. Maybe you should go back to college and study a globe, Wonder Boy. Nah, no chance. They probably go 55, 56-man game day roster and add 2 additional. Yeah, something like that. I can see that. I can see that, Duck. Have a league-wide bye the week of Christmas. You could do that. That's pretty late in the season, Steve. I don't know if that would really benefit. But, yeah, you could do that. You could do that for sure. March 31, So they signed a 10, 11-year agreement then? I want to say that there's an out after 5 years. I want to say normally agreements are 10 years, but a 5-year opt-out if need be. Now we're getting 232. First you said 2031, now you're saying 2032. Interesting. I really thought it was 5-year deal. I really thought they always did their CBAs for 5 years. K1, you know the movie I'm quoting. I don't know the movie you're quoting. Just so you know. I miswrote, okay? Okay. It's all good. I'm just curious how and why that's got to that point. Hey, fat fingers are a thing. I do it all the time. A little keypad at the shop where you're putting in credit card numbers. I always fat finger the credit card numbers and get the wrong ones, and they get declined. And the customer's like, "What? My card's not declined?" All right, let's continue rattling down this list of games here. Falcons, Saints. Saints are 4-point dogs. Falcons win that game. 49ers, Bucks. Bucks are 6.5-point dogs. I'm gonna go Bucks cover there, just because CMC is coming back supposedly. That's why. Steelers versus Commanders. I'm going to take the Steelers plus 2.5. It's a little homerish, but that's what I'm going to do. Vikings, Jags. Vikings cover the 7 points there. It's a Tommy Boy quote. Which one is? Go back to college? The college boy. Or Globe Wonder Boy. I vaguely remember Chris Farley's character saying that. Kindly enlighten us. Yeah, well, he just did, Tommy Boy. So that reference to 17 and a very good beer, a very good year. I didn't catch that one. Missed that one there. 4 o'clock games, Titans, Chargers. Chargers 7-point favorites there. We'll take the LA Chargers there. Eagles, Cowboys, we'll get to that in a second. Jets, Cardinals. Cardinals are only 1.5-point dogs. How are the Jets favored this week against the Cardinals? Cardinals in Arizona. Cardinals have been playing better. I don't know how the Jets are favored. We're taking the Cards in that game. Lions, Texans, Sunday Night Football, game of the week. Lions are 3.5-point favorites, man. I am so hyped for this Lions team, for my man Jason. Love my man Jason. Love that his team is finally good. Lions are winning. It's going to be Eagles-Lions in the playoffs at some point. And the winner of that game, Eagles-Lions, that's who's going to the Super Bowl. Bill's having a Miles Sanders kind of day. What does that even mean? I'm having a good day so far. I'm exhausted, but I'm having a good day so far. Not having a bad day yet. Not yet, at least. Not at all. I don't know where that's coming from. Don't even know what that means. All right, let's get back to Eagles Cowboys. Looks like Ryan Reese isn't joining us, but it's all good. So I can get to why, how, and I predict this happening. Jason is a Michigan State fan, because he graduated from Michigan State. And Fairway to Heaven will be back right here on the STT Sports Network soon. K1, you didn't ask any golf questions this week. I had golf bets this week. Jason did graduate from Michigan State. That's why he's a Michigan State fan. But he lives in Detroit as well. Lions are going to kill us if they keep playing at this level. Yeah, the Lions are the best team in football. I don't care that the Chiefs are undefeated, Duck. The Lions are the best team in football. Hands down. Right now. That could change over time, though. He's saying I'm washed. K1. Actually, honestly, Nooms, if that's what he's saying, I do feel kind of washed today. You know, dogs barking at 4 o'clock in the morning for hours on end. East Lansing, Michigan. What about East Lansing, Michigan? Eagles, Cowboys. Final predictions from this guy right here. Final prediction. I wrote down 4 scores. Where did my 4 scores go? I had them written down for the Eagles check down. I really wanted to project 27-21 Eagles. That was the number that just kind of, from day one this week, was stuck in my head. Or I knew who's going to play and not play, etc. That was the number that stuck in my head. Problem with that is that the Cowboys lost 27-21 last week as well to the Falcons. And I'm not sure, but I'm just guessing that no team has ever lost by the same exact score 2 weeks in a row. Seems pretty hard to even imagine that happening. So I had other scores written down, 24-21 Eagles, 27-17. I really like Duck's prediction of 28-20, 24-21 Cowboys. I did write down because it is Cowboys week. We do struggle against the Cowboys in Dallas. Cooper Rush is who he is. But I do think the Eagles are winning. And I feel the need to change my prediction from 27-21 to 28-20 Eagles, which then means that the Eagles cover. Which, not overly confident in that, but that's what the prediction's going to be. Where's my stuff here? Let's write that down right there. So I think I'm going to go 28-20. Key to this is stop their run. They're already very bad at running. You should stop their run with your front four so that you can play back and play a defense where you get plenty of coverage on CeeDee Lamb. That's part one of the whole conversation right there. The Lions are 2024 Phillies good. Well, that's not good. I hope, well, that would be good for the Eagles. What's worse, the Cowboys or Kyle Lowry? Look, I don't want to talk Sixers, but as I expected, Jared McCain is not going to be starting tonight in place of injured Tyrese Maxey, like he should be. You're going to get 38 minutes from Kyle Lowry and Reggie Jackson tonight. Guarantee you, just so you know. Let's just hope the Steelers give Washington all they can handle and more, and the Eagles run it up against the Cowboys the rest of it. It's a great point, Jose. Great point. If we can run it up on the Cowboys, rest our starters late, get everybody out healthy, Steelers and Washington have a knockdown, drag-out battle in Washington. They get exhausted. We're both playing on a short week. It's a home game for the Eagles. You got to think that would maybe, to an extent, favors the Eagles a little bit. No matter who wins Washington, Pittsburgh. If they have a knockdown, drag-out battle and we blow them out, rest our guys, it's definitely helpful for the Eagles. And that's why this game is so important for the Eagles, though, to have to win. Not just win big, but win. Because you need the Eagles to win this week because next week's so difficult. Win or lose, it's going to be a drag-out game next week. The NFC East first place on the line. Noom says 29-13 Birds. Nick Sirianni equals crooked numbers. Exactly. You never get a 28 or a 35 or anything like that. You always get crooked numbers. But as I brought up earlier in the show, and I'll bring it up again, no one really commented on it. It was really interesting to me to see the post about how the Eagles lost a game under Andy Reid to the Cowboys because he kicked the field goal with 4 minutes left in a game when they were down 7 instead of going for it. And he hoped he got it back. He didn't get it back. They lost the game. Nick Sirianni on the opposite side is the complete opposite and is very aggressive. Andy Reid was very conservative when we hated it. Nick Sirianni was very aggressive and we hate it. There's got to be a coach in the middle, I guess. But I'd much rather Nick Sirianni's crooked numbers and aggression than being ultra-conservative. And I think it sends a bad message to the team if Nick Sirianni changes his ways because the media, because the fans are pushing a narrative that they don't like his way of doing things. Eagles, Lions, Chiefs, Ravens to see who goes to the Super Bowl. Lions are greater than Chiefs. Yeah, I think the Lions are playing near perfect football right now. They are. The Chiefs are undefeated, but I venture to say that some of those Chiefs wins were aided by a certain zebra or 2 or 3. The Ravens last night, I guess I'll put the Ravens. I might sub out the Bills over the Ravens. The Ravens got lucky last night, I'll be honest. From the highlights I saw, they did smoke the Broncos, but the week before that, they got beat up. I think the Ravens are right there with the Bills, battling as the number 2 team in the AFC. But I'm not really sure there just yet, kid. It's either the Ravens or the Bills. But the Chiefs are going to be in the championship game. Most likely the Chiefs are going to be in the Super Bowl again. The NFL will do whatever they can to make sure Taylor Swift is at the Super Bowl again. Look, it's all about business. It's all about money. A Dodgers fan in early July said to me, well, we know who the best team in the NL is right now. I'm still looking for our July trophy. Yeah. You don't get those July trophies. You just don't. We don't want Sirianni to be less aggressive. We just want him to be smart about his aggressiveness. Out of control, anything is bad. I get it. And I agree with you on that. I agree with you, Doc. He's got to pick and choose his aggressive moments better is what he needs to do versus just doing it at random moments. The only one that I really disagreed with last week was taking points off the board. I hate that. Hate it. I get why he's doing it. I just would much rather Nick Sirianni's aggressive nature versus Andy Reid's passive nature. Joe Burrow is my prototype quarterback. He basically has one wide receiver, no running game, bad O-line, atrocious defense, and he usually produces. He produces losses, right, Barbara? I knew someone would comment on Joe Burrow's performance last night, but guess what? They lost. I'll bite it. There were some bad missed penalties late in the game, for sure. But all those 400-plus yards passing are meaningless when the team's 4-6, and they just got a big L. Just going to say, Barb, I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. Just saying. Plus, his coach is no better than Sirianni, really. The Eagles are 6-2. Bengals aren't. We beat the Bengals. Just saying. We actually handled the Bengals. I think you just like the frost. Yeah, Barb likes the tips. Yeah, the frosted tips. That's right. Ravens affect my fantasy football team yet again negatively. Yeah, I'm seeing everybody all over social media posting their scores, their fantasy scores because they went up against Chase or Burrow. One person posted their score. Their opponent had Burrow and Chase. The week's over already because of it. They don't stand a chance. Phil, sorry, bro. I get it. And he does play the quarterback position very well. But I care about wins and losses just as much. And I know Joe Burrow played in the Super Bowl, so I'm just countering your point. That's it. Joe Burrow's a top-tier quarterback. Joe Burrow's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. I agree with all that. But 400 yards passing are meaningless when you lose a football game. Plain and simple. Nick needs to not. Jesus. Do you think his aggressiveness was because of it was Jacksonville? Why Jacksonville? I don't understand why it would be Jacksonville. I just think that's just him. He's always like that. He's definitely cute. I have Burrow in the top 10, but that is what happens to a lot of good quarterbacks on bad teams. They get on bad teams for a reason. Yeah. The Bengals are a bad team, and they have been for a long time, for the most part. Outside of their one Super Bowl run, they've been a really bad team for a long time. Even under Marvin Lewis, for the 15 years he coached that team or whatever it was. It is what it is. But back to this. I don't know if Jacksonville had anything to do with it. Nick Sirianni is just aggressive. And I want to see Nick Sirianni continue to be aggressive this week against Dallas. He needs to be aggressive against Dallas. But he's got to pick and choose his moments wisely. He's on the damn Bengals, Phil. Come on. You think Hurts would do that on the Bengals? Look, I'm just saying, Barb. I'm just saying. 450 passing yards does nothing when you put a big L in the column. Just saying. It goes to my Justin Herbert criticisms. Lots of flashy stats. Nothing to show for it. Joe Burrow is the best fantasy football quarterback. Sure. We're not in a world of fantasy. We're in a world of reality. The reality is they are what? 4-6 after last night. Yeah, it is what it is. Their team sucks. Their coach sucks. Yes, they've got two elite players in Burrow and Chase. I get it. Just saying. You know, and this is going to be a little sarcastic here, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I thought about it. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to say it. Don't want to fire anybody up, but I'm going to say it anyway. Just remember, in 2019, Carson Wentz was still considered a pretty elite quarterback. He had Boston Scott, Greg Ward, two practice squad players, and carried that team on his back that was terrible to the playoffs. So Joe Burrow, terrible team or not, if he was elite, would be able to carry that team to wins. All right? Just so you know. But he can't. A lot of these analytics are fake analytics and do not illustrate cause and effect. Yeah, Duck. Yep, Bengals are historically, they are, I mean, the fact that they kept Marvin Lewis as long as they did, never winning actually, anything, always shocked me. Sirianni can't get over that Dougie got a Super Bowl ring and he couldn't get his team across the finish line. Yeah, maybe. Always thought that reason was a bad team's record getting them a draft pick. Burrow went to Super Bowl 2, lost by 3. Yeah, no, I know. That's why I give him some credit. See, I knew. I know. I knew it was going to be a bad comment. I know, Barb. But he did take that team of practice squatters to the playoffs. Just saying. Wentz also played behind a that didn't hurt. It did not hurt at all. Analytics personnel should be fired. Yeah, it is the way it is with sports and analytics. I'm not an analytics guy, never have been. I kind of understand them, why they're used in sports. I just hate them, but I get it. I do get it. Guys, we're in the final 10 minutes of Trending in the AM this morning. Final 10 minutes for you guys to hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button. Final minutes to get your final thoughts and predictions on Eagles Cowboys. For the final 10 minutes, I'll revisit the opening conversation for anybody that's new to the show that didn't watch the first 20, 30 minutes. Why I feel the Dallas Cowboys-Eagles rivalry is kind of tapered off. I still want to beat Dallas. Dallas still sucks. But 10 years ago, I would have put F Dallas in my comments instead of Dallas sucks. Just worn off a little bit. Maybe because the Cowboys suck a little bit more. Maybe because they're not really America's team. I just want to throw that out there to people that are watching. That I've kind of felt a little lost on the Dallas hate. Like, it just doesn't seem to have the same vibe this week. And every year, the vibe gets a little less. Maybe because Washington is so good this year. And my eyes are keen on the Washington games, not the Cowboys games. So I'm going to throw that out for the final 10 minutes one more time. And I'm also going to throw this out there for the final 10 minutes. What if? What if? And what is this city going to be like if we lose on Sunday? Has it even entered anyone's minds that we do struggle in Dallas? Like Cooper Rush is 5-1 while filling in for Dak Prescott. Has it entered anybody's minds that the Eagles could lose on Sunday? Just throwing that out there. I don't think they do. I think the line of 7 points, 7.5 points tells me they're not. But has it entered our minds? And if they do lose on Sunday, this city, with everything going on with the Sixers and the Flyers and everything else in the world, this city will burn down if they lose. Just want to know if it's even entered anybody's minds. On a more positive note, can you imagine Barkley was being one of our top 3? Can you imagine Barkley was being one of our top 3 O-line instead of our current 7 O-lines right now? Sirianni would have gotten his super. Oh, yeah. So if we would have had Barkley back then, man. Isn't great to have Dallas trolls silent? They are. I don't see curl route, dude, anywhere right now. Dallas Cowboys fans are quiet. Thing is, they're never going to disclose any edge they discover anyway. I've always thought the analytics is just about drawing in additional fans. Maybe. I like the Eagles too, but I also respect other great players. I do too. I firmly believe in respecting great players. My dad taught me that at a very young age, Barb, that you might never see certain players, certain types of players again. So you respect greatness. You don't have to like greatness. You don't have to like the player or the team, but you should always respect greatness. I wish someday I'll hit that 1,000 subscriber mark and those super chats will open up. Someday. What happened there? The screen sometimes moves. You can't fire nepotism. What? Dallas sucks. So do Saints, Giants, Browns, Jags. I don't know what that's supposed to be. The analytics only become useful with the more recent advances in movement and sensors to supplement the regular stuff that gets a lot of attention. That's deep. You can't boycott it, though. Can't boycott what? Analytics. Analytics are real, but you can have all the info and good data, but if you still have to use your real-world knowledge to balance data, that's the thing. You got to balance out the analytics. And some teams go too heavy in the analytics, in my department, or in my opinion. And that's the problem with sports. Too much analytics at the forefront and not enough balancing it out, I guess, is the way to say it. That's just my opinion. That's how I see it. Guys, Eagles, I want to change my score again. I don't like the 28-20 score anymore. I don't like the 27-21. Noom's crooked number comment, man. I'm trying to settle on a score here. I don't think the Eagles cover the 7 points. I think they win. But I also don't think, oh, man, I don't know how to final predict my score here. I really don't. Baseball made analytics sexy. Now organization thinks it makes them look smart to have it. Yeah. Those are 4 of the wins the Eagles have so far. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize the way you said it. Sucks. So do the Saints, Giants, Browns, Jags. So you're saying that their wins are meaningless. Okay. I don't know, Mitchie Poo. I don't think the score is that low and that like that. That would be pretty bad. The Cowboys defense isn't very good. 31-10 Eagles. That would be a fantastic way to end the weekend because you'd be able to rest your starters for the fourth quarter. You would be able to take it easy and have a stress-free week into the short week against Washington. It would be great. Beat Dallas 34-17. Have a great day. Padre Philip. I forgot about the Padre Philip joke, Jose. Thank you. I don't know. Maybe we go 30. Maybe the Eagles Eagles have only gotten to 30 points once. That's my thing. I think I'm going to go back to my original score prediction. 27-21. Eagles win. I think that's what we do. I do like this one, 31-23. The only problem with this is the Eagles have only scored over 30 points twice this year. They don't do it all the time. What's up, kid? Thank you very much. I'm a Philly Press Brock's radio guy. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I love Bill and Chet. They're great. Saw you on there this week. Now your show. Make sure you hit that subscribe. We do this every Monday through Friday morning, 8 a.m. to 9:30, plus stuff at nighttime throughout the week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you didn't already do it, kid. I'd greatly appreciate it. We do this every single morning, every single week. So we'll always love new people finding the show and finding the content. But we do this. We don't just talk. We talk it all on this show. Yeah, Barb, have a fantastic weekend. I enjoy another fantastic week with all of you guys. It's been fun. It's been great. Please all hit that subscribe button if you haven't. And if you have, and most of you have, please, 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 please tell some friends to subscribe this weekend. I need it. If my score prediction is correct, I get to be on the trending. If the Eagles win 17-10, Mitch, you could be on the show Monday morning even, just so you know. But I don't think it's going to be 17-10. After Cowboys, we have a 2024 Murders Row of games. Commies, Rams, Ravens, Steelers. Oh, it's going to be tough. And I said this early in the week, maybe. There's a chance we lose a bunch of games over the next couple of weeks. We could lose the Commanders game. We could lose the Rams game. We could lose the Ravens and Steelers game. Panthers are the only win. I got to that reminds me about the Panthers game. I got to hit my man up, Michael Kay, former Eagles beat writer that I have a connection with for Panthers week. He's a Panthers beat writer, so maybe we'll get a Panthers beat writer here. Yes, Philly Press Box Radio guys, tune in. He's got Ryan Howard later this afternoon on his show, little pop-up show. Go Birds, Dallas sucks, donkeys, bubbles up. Yeah, pretty much, guys. It's that time. It's that thing, guys. Eagles win 27-21. We'll be back Monday for Overreaction Monday. Overreacting to Eagles. Maybe the Sixers. Who knows? We'll see what happens this weekend, guys. We're going to be reviewing also the Yellowstone Season 5 premiere. So you better all watch that with me because I'm going to give spoilers out on Monday, just so you know. But with that being said, guys, go Birds. Bubbles up to y'all. Have a good weekend.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep.